So, okay, so the show's almost over, and yesterday I made a video entitled "I Changed My Mind: Why I'm Going to Vote for Joe Jorgensen." And I got a lot of people disagreeing with me on that video. A lot of people were telling me that I was thinking a little bit incoherently. A lot of people were telling me that you know, my heart's in the right place, but I'm being misled and I'm making a poor decision. So I want to come here today, 24 hours later, to say that I've thought about it some more. I've changed my mind once again, and I have decided that I'm going to vote for Howie Hawkins. Now, I live in North Carolina. I live in a swing state where Biden and Trump are neck and neck. In a lot of ways, my state could decide the election. We won't know. You didn't know in 2016 that it was going to be Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. You didn't know. You only knew afterward. So who knows? Could I be a part of the 500 people in North Carolina that vote for Howie Hawkins and Joe Biden loses by like 20 votes, right? And then the election goes to Trump? Who knows? But what I know is that we need to end the duopoly. That's what I know. Um, and we all know that when it comes to first principles, a lot of people, their first principles, they'll say, I want health care for all citizens, right? A lot of people's first principles will be, I want everyone to live in peace and harmony. I want to end the wars. I want to do all this. That are a lot of people's first principles. And when I say first principles, these are things that the rest of your ideology and the rest of the way you talk about things stem from. And so, as I've said before, we need to end this duopoly. Now, my first principle is not giving poor people health care. I don't give a shit. I've got health care. I'm good. My first principle is not making sure that DACA recipients get to stay in the country. Fuck it. My first principle is ending the duopoly. And so I know when you really think about things, right? People have been saying this since 2000. People voted for Ralph Nader. Duopoly stayed there. I don't know what happened. 2004, right? They voted green again. And next thing you know, 2008 happens, and you got a Republican and a Democrat, right? And then in 2008, people kept voting green. They kept saying, we're going to end the duopoly, right? And then 2012 rolls around. Jill Stein comes out, and she's like, you know what? We are going to do this time. This incumbent president has not done what we needed. We are going to end the duopoly. And then she got 1% of the vote. And then 2016 comes around, and that was my first election. I've said this many times, that I voted for Jill Stein in 2016. You want to know why I voted for Jill Stein? Now, I lived in Maryland at the time, not North Carolina. I moved in between the last election and this one, right? But Jill Stein was telling me that 2016, Donald Trump, there's no way that Trump could win. There's no way. So I should feel okay voting third party. And so I did. And I voted third party with the idea that I was going to end the duopoly. Now, I've been very critical of the Green Party. They have been a national party running people for president in these semi-high profile races for 20 years-ish, right? And they still haven't gotten a single congressional candidate who's won, or even got more than like 10% of the vote. They've, not got a single senator, so they maybe have a few city council people, and that's, that's great. That ends the duopoly. In a small town with, 20,000 people, the duopoly has ended. And I think that that is something that if we can extrapolate that data onto the national election, I think we have a good chance here. So I like Howie Hawkins. He's a cool guy. And again, my first principle here is not making sure that poor people have health care. It's not making sure that there's not, a civil war or anything. My first principle is to make sure that I treat my ballot like it's a personal identity marker. That is my first principle. And as such, I'm going to cast my ballot in North Carolina for Howie Hawkins, right? Because again, voting is about nothing else than talking about what you believe in. It's not a tactical strategic decision that you have to weigh in regards to the current context of the environment you live in. No, 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 no. Voting is like a tattoo, right? You want it to describe who you are as a person for the rest of your life. So again, there's a lot of people that will tell me, I voted for Barack Obama in 2008 and I regret it. I regret it. It's a deep stain on my soul for the rest of my life. People will say, I voted for Hillary. I bent the knee and I regret it. Right? Because they want to go around and say, I voted for Howie Hawkins, and that's their identity marker. They want the world to know they voted for their principles. Now, yesterday, when I said I was leaning toward Joe Jorgensen, I was saying that I wanted to vote for the principles that can win. Because like I said, my first principle, I don't give a shit about healthcare, climate change, fuck it, whatever. We're already heading toward disaster, right? My first principle is being anti-establishment. That's my first principle. My first principle is, just ending the duopoly. So I was thinking, right, the Libertarian candidate polling 3, sometimes 4 times higher than the Green Party candidate, right? I was going to vote for my principles that could win. But a lot of people have given me some very persuasive arguments when it comes to who to vote for. And I've changed my mind once again. I'm going to vote for Howie Hawkins. And again, I live in a swing state. But really, again, voting is not about a tactical or strategic, anything. It's about morality. It's about letting people on Twitter know that you're the real deal. That's what it's about. It's about you want to get that pic of you filling in the bubble for Howie Hawkins, and then you want to post it on Twitter and then have people retweet you. That's what voting is about, everybody. That's what voting is about in the United States of America. It's not about accomplishing anything, right? Yeah, sure. A group like Justice Democrats was founded after 2016, and they've already got 7 members of Congress, right? And that's if you give them the most strictest definition of what they classify as members of Congress. Yeah, sure. They've got 7 seats in the last 3 years. Fuck it. The Green Party, they got 0. And really, when you think about it, when someone is down, when someone has nothing in their lives, right? When someone has nothing to show for all of the work that they've spent 20, 30 years doing, really, that in a way makes you think and respect them a little bit more. Sure, Justice Democrats, set out to do a very similar, if not identical thing that the Green Party did and succeeded in the first 2 years, right? Whereas the Green Party has failed for at least 2 decades, right? That's whatever. That's whatever. It doesn't matter. Because what really matters is people's integrity when they're on the ground, right? When we're on the floor, when they're struggling, what do? They say, I want to end the duopoly. And that I can agree with. So I've changed my mind once again, everybody. I'm voting for Howie Hawkins. We need to end the duopoly. And I know, a lot of people were telling me yesterday that if the Green Party hits a certain percentage point, then something good will happen. Now, they won't tell me what that something good is, right? They won't say, oh, yeah, they're going to reach 2%, and then the Democrats are going to learn their lesson, and then they're going to start, they're going to switch, Joe Biden's going to win, and because the Howie Hawkins got 2%, the Democrats are going to be like, damn, 2%, that's huge. And then they're going to have Joe Biden step down and install Bernie Sanders as president. Clearly, that's the strategy or something. The Democrats need to be taught a lesson. Yeah, sure. The Democrats have gained money under the Trump administration. People like Nancy Pelosi are wealthier than they were because of fundraising numbers. Sure, they're going to continue to have their wealth increase under another Trump administration if that happens. But we need to teach the Democrats a lesson. And that's what you don't understand. And teaching them a lesson, it's not sending them mail to their offices. No, it's not calling them up and leaving them voicemail every single day that their staffers have to listen to. It's not showing up at events that they do and pressuring them and heckling them and protesting. That's not how you teach Democrats a lesson, right? We know that that's not how you teach Democrats a lesson. The way that you teach Democrats a lesson is by taking a picture of you voting for Howie Hawkins and posting it on Twitter and getting 13 retweets. That's how you teach Democrats a lesson, right? Fuck the DACA recipients. What? I don't care about them. Fuck climate change. Who cares, right? We need to end the duopoly, and I think voting for a candidate that's going to get 1% of the vote, that's the way to do it. So join with me, everybody. Let's vote for Howie Hawkins. Thank you for listening. Woo! Thank you for the super chat, Satanic Panic. Don't let anyone tell you how to vote. Vote your principles. Principles spelled like the school iteration. The Dems and GOP will always use fear of each other to get you a vote. I completely agree with that statement. I completely agree. The only way to end the duopoly is through vote reform and government reform. The Electoral College and election primaries are being won by plurality forces of the duopoly. Like, again, ranked choice voting. You think Republicans are going to get ranked choice voting in? Nah. You think Democrats might? I mean, they did in Maine. Right? They did ranked choice voting in Maine, and there's a Green candidate in Maine. Do they have any polls for Maine? Senate? There's a Green Party candidate going on in Maine, and they've got ranked choice voting. Oh, all the polls say that she's at 4%? Damn, really? Hold up. With ranked choice voting, the Green Party is still... They're still polling at 4%? That can't be true. Hold up, I'm about to look into this. This is interesting. Oh, wait, no. No, another candidate is polling above the Green Party candidate. So the Green Party candidate's polling at 1%. Okay. With ranked choice voting. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Again, we got to end the duopoly. And the only way to do that is to, I don't know, do something, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know. But, yeah, all the polls here, they're not, you know, it's not good. Not good. Believe me, not good. And we got to end the duopoly. That's all I want.
No good. No good.
Oh, my fucking God. What are you going to do? You have ranked choice voting and you still can't break 5%? Really makes you think.